A blood congeal. Then I'll be fairest in the land.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for weird, wild, and truly disturbing facts about classic Disney antagonists. For this list, we're considering classic Disney to be any movie the studio made before the year 2000.
So typical of your kind to twist the truth, to cloud the mind with unholy thoughts.
Number 10. Cruella de Vil was supposed to make a comeback. 101 Dalmatians.
I'm through with all of you. I'll get even. Just wait. You'll be sorry. You fools. You idiots!
Decades before Glenn Close and Emma Stone gave life to Cruella de Vil in live-action adaptations, the canine-hating fashion icon almost returned in another Disney classic. Cruella was set to make her grand return in 1977's The Rescuers. When animators first started working on the film, they envisioned it as a vehicle for her character, and it would have expanded her reign of terror from dogs to mice.
Ah, shut up, you idiot.
What?
Oh, no, not you, miss. I mean, Horace here.
Why, you imbecile.
If her hatred of dogs wasn't already enough, this would have made her the enemy of all non-human creatures. Rather than trying to capture lightning in a bottle twice, the creators scrapped this idea and introduced a new villainess, Madame Medusa.
You don't have a way with children. You must gain their confidence, make them like you.
Yeah? How do you do that?
You force them to like you, idiot!
Number 9. The myths of Hades are not Disney-friendly. Hercules.
You know, I haven't been this choked up since I got a hunk of moussaka caught in my throat. Huh?
James Woods voices Hades in this animated musical based on the Greek myth. Disney portrays the ruler of the underworld like a greasy used car salesman.
I really don't have, time to bat this around. I'm kind of on a schedule. I got plans for August, okay? I need an answer, now. Going once, going twice. All right. Yes, we're there.
He talks fast and he's the movie's bad guy. But he's not necessarily a bad guy overall.
Guys, get your Titanic rears in gear and kick some Olympian butt! Whoa, is my hair out?
If you go back to the myths, though, Hades is no laughing matter. While some modern interpreters argue that his villainy is overstated, there's still plenty to work with. Kidnapping Persephone, handing out harsh punishments, and ruling over souls are all in a day's work for the Lord of the Dead.
Son of my hated rival, trapped forever in a river of death.
Going once.
Is there a downside to this?
Going twice.
Okay. You get her out. She goes. You stay.
Number 8. Gaston was based on the screenwriter's dating life, Beauty and the Beast. Up until Belle found herself the target of a man with a violent temper and a fragile ego, the Disney princesses had never faced a male antagonist. Cinderella, Snow White, and the like were terrorized by older women who were envious of their youth and beauty. Gaston was a genuine departure from the norm.
Belle, it's about time you got your head out of those books and paid attention to more important things. Like me. The whole town's talking about it. It's not right for a woman to read. Soon she starts getting ideas and thinking.
Screenwriter Linda Wolverton said she didn't have to look far for inspiration for a male villain. Gaston was based on men she'd dated.
My little wife, massaging my feet. While the little ones play on the floor with the dogs. We'll have 6 or 7.
Dogs?
No, Belle. Strapping boys like me.
Imagine that.
Do you know who that little wife will be?
Let me think.
You, Belle.
He represented a new era of Disney villainy. Gaston is a man who seeks to possess a young woman, whether she wants him or not. There's something very real and truly sinister about him.
Since I looked at that loony old man, see, I promised myself I'd be married to Belle, and right now I'm evolving a plan.
Number 7. Ursula is King Triton's sister, the Little Mermaid. A piece of lore that was dropped from the final film would come back later to supplement the stage version of The Little Mermaid.
I might be willing to make an exchange for someone even better.
In the 1989 original, Ursula the Sea Witch seems to manage being an iconic villain without any tragic backstory or secret connection to her target Ariel. But Ursula was actually written as King Triton's sister, making her Ariel's aunt.
I think villains who have a little of the con artist in them are more fascinating because they give you a facade.
Though this detail never appears in the film outright, it's since been adopted for other media, including the 2023 live-action remake.
Ursula! Let her go.
Forget it, big brother. She belongs to me now.
It adds an extra layer of intrigue to the story and makes her already dastardly plot feel more personal and vicious. Number 6. Maleficent's design had creepy inspirations. Sleeping Beauty.
Why, it's Maleficent.
What does she want here? Well, quite a glittering assemblage, King Stephen.
She's the mistress of all evil, so Disney knew they had to pull out all the stops for this one. With her horns, hard edges, swooping cape, and sleek refinement, Maleficent was a shift from the previous depictions of witches and evil queens.
Before the sun sets on her 16th birthday, she shall prick her finger on the spindle of a spinning wheel and die.
Even at her most evil, she wasn't decrepit and aged. Animators Mark Davis and Ivan Earle took inspiration from another kind of cinematic villain, the femme fatale of film noir. They pulled costume elements from classical depictions of the devil and predators from the natural world, such as vampire bats. These elements would later be brought to life for the 2014 live-action movie Maleficent.
Before the sun sets on her 16th birthday, she will prick her finger on the spindle of the spinning wheel and fall into a sleep like death!
Number 5. The Evil Queen may have been based on Joan Crawford. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. A lot of elements came together to craft the first Disney villain. For her hag-like alter ego, the Evil Queen's voice actress, Lucille Laverne, removed her false teeth to achieve a creepy vocal effect.
Like to try one? Come on, have a bite.
The character's glamorous and beautiful appearance is believed to have been based, in part, on contemporary Hollywood star Joan Crawford. Given the mythic status Crawford achieved after her death, this adds an unintentional irony to the story.
Magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest one of all?
Snow White is the queen's stepdaughter, and let's just say she's not exactly maternal toward her.
Who will kill her?
But your majesty, the little princess.
Silence! You know the penalty if you fail.
The allegations that Crawford's daughter Christina made in her memoir Mommy Dearest wouldn't come out until many years later. Once you know the connection, it casts the story in a new light.
Magic mirror on the wall. Who now is the fairest one of all?
Number 4. Gaston almost had a different dark fate. Beauty and the Beast. The writers had to tone down elements of Gaston's character. For example, one of his last lines was changed from "time to die" to the less violent "Belle is mine."
It's over, beast. Belle is mine!
In the finale, Gaston plummets to his death from the top of the Beast's castle. However, an early pitch had him taking his own life after Belle rejects him.
Were you in love with her, beast? Did you honestly think she'd want you when she had someone like me?
Some fans even claim there was another version where Gaston survives his fall, only to be devoured by wolves. If that sounds familiar, it's because a similar fate would befall Scar in The Lion King 3 years later. As it stands, the true ending leaves a lot more to the imagination. Number 3. The wicked stepmother is much worse in the Brothers Grimm tale, Cinderella.
Clean it. And the windows upstairs and down. Wash them. Oh, yes, and the tapestries and the draperies.
But I just finished.
Do them again.
Like many classic Disney films, Cinderella is based on an old fairy tale. Though it's been adapted and retold many times, Charles Perrault's 1697 version is cited as the main inspiration behind the 1950 animation film.
I can't understand why. It's always fit perfectly before. I don't think you're half trying. Mother, can you...
Quiet, my dear. We mustn't disturb his grace. Young man, Are you sure you're trying it on the right foot?
However, one of the most well-known versions of the story comes from the brothers Grimm, in which Cinderella's wicked stepmother is even worse. She convinces her daughters to hack off parts of their feet to fit the slipper, hoping one of them will win the prince's hand in marriage.
Why won't it fit? Darling, be still. Cut off a bit of the heel and it will. And when you're his wife, you'll have such a life. You'll never need to walk.
There's a lot of deeper meaning in that, but it's probably not fit for a young movie-going audience. Number 2. Frollo is even creepier in the book. The Hunchback of Notre Dame. The thing about this underrated adaptation of the classic French novel is that it preserves a lot of the story's dark undertones. Even so, Frollo is somehow even worse in Victor Hugo's writing.
Hellfire, this fire in my skin.
While Hellfire gives us a glimpse into the self-punishing religious zealotry that fuels the man, the book makes us see him for the repugnant predator that he is. He stabs a man out of lustful jealousy for Esmeralda, and has her hanged for bearing witness to it.
You were sent to destroy man's body and soul.
Though Disney cleans the story up for its target audience, they're still surprisingly true to Frollo's awfulness. It's made all the more complex by Tony Jay's towering voice performance.
You've chosen a magnificent prison, but it is a prison nonetheless. Set one foot outside, and you're mine.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. The Real Life and Death of John Ratcliffe, Pocahontas.
I hereby claim this land and all its riches in the name of His Majesty King James I, and do so name this settlement Jamestown.
Any historian will tell you that the conflict between the colonists and the Native Americans is greatly toned down in this 1995 historical fantasy. The real-life relationship, or lack thereof, between Pocahontas and John Smith is complicated enough, but the story's villain, Jamestown Governor John Ratcliffe, has been heavily massaged.
Why do you think those insolent heathens attacked us?
Because we invaded their land and cut down their trees and dug up their earth.
It's the gold! They have it, and they don't want us to take it from them. Well, I'll just have to take it by force then, won't I?
Ratcliffe may have been a tyrant, but he was never sent back to England for punishment like he is at the end of Pocahontas. Instead, he stayed in Virginia and was later captured by a group of Powhatan people. The details of his grisly execution sound more like a horror movie than a Disney movie.
Get the gun!
Unhand me, how dare you!
Put him in chains!
I'll see you all hang for this!
And gag him as well!
Which of these Disney villains scared you as a kid? Let us know in the comments.
Cried the Archdeacon.
This is an unholy demon. I'm sending it back to hell where it belongs.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.